Welcome all to yet another video. Dr. RS and you, Science of Cosmetics and Personal Care Products. Today we are in part 50, Pigments and Powders, Surface Modification. So we have finished 49 parts of various topics, right? People who are seeing this new, I request them to go through all the topics so that there is a continuity. Thank you. Thank you. Part 50, Pigments and Powders, Surface Modification. Why do we surface modify the pigments and powders? To improve adhesion and wear. What is this? The products can be applied in a smooth manner and the product will spread easily. The product will stay on the skin for longer time. So this is a very, very important property of a color cosmetics where the payoff, they say the payoff, no, the lipsticks might be a thick product, it's a stick, but when you apply, the product should come out of the lipsticks and it should move smoothly, right? So that is called, and deliver the product, that's called the payoff. Those sort of attributes, no, when the particles are surface modified, those properties are enhanced. Enhance physical and chemical stability. What is this? We saw in the suspensions, settling of the particles and forming cake. That is a physical instability. Chemical instability, right? The particles can change chemically. When it is suspended in water, it can change chemically. So, any chemical changes that can happen to the particles or any physical instability that can happen, that stability is enhanced. Reduce dusting of the powders. Fly away of the powders. No, it's like when you take a talcum powder from the bag, you see that talc is flying away. No, so flying away, dusting of the powders, flying of the powders. Optimize pigment dispersion. Right. So here we can use higher level of pigments for the product, right? If we need an higher SPF with a surface modified titanium dioxide and zinc oxide, we can use it because of the surface modification. Also, we can use different color coated dispersions so that the levels of pigments can be optimized effectively in the surface modified pigments. Deliver luxurious feel. The surface modification itself, that the surface impart an excellent sensory feel from the product. So the surface modification improves the sensory of the product. Can deliver multi-color effect by coating color over colors. No? The multi-color effect can be delivered. So surface modification of the pigments have thrown open to many innovations in the field of color cosmetics and also in the field of sunscreens, inorganic sunscreens, right? Basically when titanium dioxide and zinc oxide pigments are used as sunscreens. So now this is very important. So people should be aware that there are lot of pigments are available and powders are available with surface modification, and effectively using these surface modified powders we can deliver a more stable and effective products. What are the surface modification methods? We will not go into the depth. We will know what are the methods. One is physisorption. It's a physical process. So the materials are physically coated over the pigments. For example, unreactive fluorinated compounds, waxes like Carnauba wax and polyethylene, boron nitride, metal soaps of zinc, magnesium or aluminium, lecithin, chitosan and lauryl lysine. These are some of the examples that can be coated by physisorption over the pigments and powders. That will enhance the stability and the performance of the pigment. The next method is chemisorption. Polymers covalently attach to the pigment or the powder surfaces. A permanent chemical bond is formed between the treatment and the surface. This is chemisorption. Alkoxysilane groups, isopropyl titanium triisostearate. This is frequently used, and other materials can be coupled to the hydroxyl groups on the substrate's surface. Right. Other chemicals that can be reacted onto the surface are silanes, perfluoroalkyl phosphate, methicone, dimethicones, and all those surface coating materials, silicone compounds. So this is chemisorption. In chemisorption, there is a chemical bonding which is happening between the particles and the coating materials, right? So European Union approved surface modification of zinc oxide nanoparticles used in sunscreen products. The coating materials allowed are triethoxy caprylyl silane, dimethicone, dimethoxy diphenyl silane, triethoxy caprylyl silane cross polymer, or octyl triethoxy silanes. These are some of the surface modification approved for zinc oxide by European Union. This is used in sunscreen products, right? Can be used in other products also. Effectively, this is in the monograph of sunscreens. Same way, for titanium dioxide, silica, hydrated silica, alumina, these are all hydrophilic mostly, to disperse in water. Silica, hydrated silica, alumina, aluminium hydroxide, aluminium stearate, stearic acid, hydrophobic, dimethicone, hydrogen dimethicone, simethicone, right? These are all allowed. Combinations of coatings are also allowed. Silica at a maximum concentration of 16% and cetyl phosphate at a maximum concentration of 6% is allowed. So this is very easy. Silica is hydrophilic, this coating, and with cetyl phosphate as an emulsifier in this coating also, it spreads, disperses very well in the water. Alumina at a maximum concentration of 7% and manganese dioxide at a maximum concentration of 0.7% is also allowed. But for this particular the coating, it's not used in lip products, right? Alumina at a maximum concentration of 3% and triethoxy caprylyl silane at a maximum concentration of 9%. These are the combinations listed in EU, and these are the individual coatings listed in EU for titanium dioxide, right, in the sunscreen monograph, right. This is a list of surface treatments and application. Wherever C is there, it is chemisorption, and wherever P is there, it is physisorption, that is physical absorption, chemical absorption, right. Isopropyl titanium triisostearate coating, it's a chemi-absorption, right? What are the advantages? Wet adhesion, affinity to skin, dispersibility in oils, esters, and compressibility in, especially in compacts. Water in oil emulsions, foundation makeups, pressed powders, cream to powder. No, it varies. It can be used in anywhere. Anhydrous systems and lipsticks. Methicone coating. This is also chemical. Light, dry, smooth, hydrophobic, spreadable. Pressed powders, wet and dry foundations, anhydrous, water in silicone emulsion. Same way, triethoxy, capryllyl silane, soft, smooth, dispersibility, compressibility, hydrophobic, water in oil or silicone foundation, pressed powders. So there are perfluorooctyl triethoxysilane, that's also for stearyl glutamic acid, that is water in oil emulsions. Silica, with chemical coating, it's hydrophilic. It is dispersible in water, this coating. Maintains true color on skin. Oil in water emulsion, foundation makeups, pressed powders. We can use types of iron oxides coated with silica for liquid makeups, right? Carnauba wax, you can claim natural coating. Natural, hydrophobic, good adhesion, compressibility, mascaras, eyeliners, pressed powders, cold processed emulsions. Aloe, natural, dry, moisturizing, creamy. Pressed powders, cold processed emulsion. Same way, jojoba esters, natural, soft, creamy, moisturizing. Pressed powders, cold processed emulsions. Same way, hydrogenated lecithin, magnesium myristrate and polythene wax. Okay, these are all, the reference is an overview of surface treatments for pigments and powders, Edward Bartholomew and Kobo Products Incorporation. So I saw this beautiful chart in that literature. So what happens? These are all examples of coating. These are all examples. So now the field is very wide open. I saw so many products in the field of the surface treatment that pigments, where 2-3 pigments are used and surface coated, and two coating materials are used, right? And all of them have various applications, various functions. So the field is just evolving, right? It's evolving very fast also, right? This is the one, right? Now this is a thing now where titanium dioxide 15 nanometers flow property is much improved with surface treated PEG triethoxysilane. See here, non-treated pigment absorbs the oil and it becomes lumpy, whereas this is the treated pigment which in the same base disperses very well and it flows very well. It doesn't absorb all the oil and it doesn't become lumpy. So this is just an example, right? So these are the players. These are the players in the market for examples, right? These are all the examples of the pigments and powders, surface modification people. BASF, Clariant, Eckart, Geotech, Kobo, Koel, India, Merck, Sensient, Sudarshan, India, right? Sun Chemicals, right? Here I put in alphabetical order No, I am not assessing who is big and who is small. They are all big, right? So these are examples of the players who are in these pigments and powders, surface modified. So you can go to the literature on these products, and then you can see the vast choices available in this field for you to use in. Great innovations are happening in the field of pigments and powders. Lack of knowledge in this area can leave us behind in developing new, superior and exciting cosmetic products. So that is what I want to introduce, what is happening in this field, so that people should explore this area that can make your product exciting and superior, especially color cosmetic products and also sunscreens, inorganic sunscreen products. This is what I would like to share with you in this session. Till I get connected with you in the next session, bye to you all. Be happy, be healthy, be smiling, be safe. Thank you. Bye.